I'll just share it on Twitter and then we can just start talking about the cheat sheet and all the other stuff. So yes, it's done now. So starting with the cheat sheet, you can see here the green fixtures are the one you can probably target in this one. So a lot of managers are using their limitless chip in this game week, in this match day particularly. So this can be a good match day to use that, and game match day 3 similarly a good one for that too. You additionally get Bayern and Barca players to bring in for that match day 3. But if you made your team just for match day 1 and you are in need of the limitless, you can definitely activate the limitless here. So yeah, if you look at the fixtures here, you see these green fixtures like Napoli versus Rangers is the one you can probably target in this one, because Napoli is in a great form. They are top of the table in Serie A. Zielinski, their midfielder, he was the one to watch out. He's a good midfielder. Like if you're going for the cheaper option, I think Zielinski is a really good option to bring in. Then in Group B, there's Porto. You can bring in some of their attackers if you want. Atletico Madrid is there, the likes of Morata and someone, but it isn't like they do not have easy fixtures. Moving on to Group C, you've got Inter Milan who faces Victoria here. They were really awful defensively versus Barcelona. So yeah, Lautaro Martinez is the one if you are currently looking for a forward for your limitless chip. Then a lot of managers are actually doubling up on that. PSG attack like Neymar or Mbappe or Messi or Neymar. But if you really want the diversity in your side, you can just go for Lautaro Martinez from Inter. Now, if you move on to Group D, there is specifically Spurs versus Sporting. There were rumors of Son being benched, so yeah, Harry Kane in the forwards is a good option. There's Kulusevski if you want. Perisic in defense is a great option if you want. So yeah, these are the three players if you want to punt on the Spurs picks. Son would probably be rested. That those were the rumors. I'm not really sure about that yet. So moving on to Group E, there's AC Milan who are in a good form. You might also want to punt on the Chelsea players with the Graham Potter appointing. Probably they would step up their game and play really well to actually cement their places in the starting 11 for in the eyes of the new coach. So yeah, there's Sterling, there's Aubameyang to go for. AC Milan, you can go for Olivier Giroud, who's actually featuring in their games and he's scoring. So yeah, he might be the one to look for. There's obviously Real Madrid. Benzema is sort of out of the game, but there is always Vinicius Junior, the likes of Luka Modric. If you are looking for a cheaper midfielder who might get you recovery points and sometime might score a goal too. There's also Valverde if you are actually going to opt for someone from Real Madrid. Leipzig has a tough fixture. They didn't do well in the game in the match day 1. So yeah, I'd probably say avoid their forwards for now. Shakhtar is a good fixture. There's Celtic, but if you're targeting that fixture, I would say you go for the picks from Shakhtar. So now moving on to Group G, there's obviously Man City, the best team in that group and probably the best team in Europe currently, the most balanced side uh, from that aspect. So yeah, Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne. There were rumors of Julian Alvarez being involved too. So yeah, you can actually, if you want to play it, save Haaland. Obviously, Haaland is a permanent pick for the group stage until they're in the competition. And at least for the group stage, you've got Sevilla, who actually are defensively, like they are defensively weaker, but against a weaker side, they might score goals. But I really don't want to like advise you to go for picks from Sevilla. So if you're going to stick from Group G, I'd say go for Man City, and then there's PSG. You can triple up on PSG. This high fast side isn't a very good tough side, and with the likes of Neymar and Mbappe and Messi up front, you might see a lot of goals in this game. So this is why I wanted to discuss the FDR. There are fixtures that you can target actually with your Limitless. So these are some of the fixtures. Now, similarly, if you want to go for the Limitless in match day 3, you've got Liverpool versus Rangers. You can actually target this fixture, and probably you can target Liverpool versus Ajax. To Ajax, obviously a better side than Rangers in this one, but they looked a bit defensively shaky. They're not like the similar Ajax side we saw during the previous year. So yeah, for a comeback, Liverpool might be on in this one. You might see the likes of Salah and Diaz go big, but that is all dependent upon the luck and the way Liverpool plays, because Liverpool is in a bad form right now. So yeah, moving on to the other fixtures from match day 3, you can actually target Atletico Madrid's fixture with Club Brugge. You've got Bayern Munich players. You can double up on Sadio Mane, and you can bring in Sane to actually target this fixture here. You've got Barcelona versus Inter. Obviously, it is an average fixture, but we've seen Barcelona attack. They are a top attacking side right now. Defensively, I wouldn't say they are like a very strong side, but the attack is the likes of Ousmane Dembele, with the likes of Robert Lewandowski, Rafinha. They've got many attacking options. So yeah, this Inter fixture could be a good one if you are opting for the Limitless in match day 3. Then in Group D, you've got fixtures like, you can actually target the Spurs fixture against Frankfurt. Frankfurt are not playing really good football these days, and they are conceding goals. So yeah, Spurs, we know under Conte, is a good counter-attacking side, and you can actually target this fixture. Marseille obviously is a better side. So yeah, Sporting versus Marseille. If you are going to bet on it, I would say pick players from Marseille. So yeah, so if we move on to Group E, we've got AC Milan versus Chelsea. Obviously a tough fixture. So if you want to punt on, you might go for the forwards from both sides, but defenders I wouldn't recommend for now until we see Chelsea play under the new manager. So yeah. Now moving on to Group F, we've got Real Madrid obviously facing Shakhtar in the group in match day 3. It is a good fixture. If you are going to use the Limitless in match day 3, you can target this fixture. It is a good fixture with the Real Madrid attackers, and probably with the Courtois at the back too, because Real Madrid are playing really well. Then in Group G, obviously there's Man City. You might want to target. You can also target in Dortmund here in match day 3 against Sevilla. Sevilla obviously missing their main centre backs, Koundé gone to Barcelona, and Diego Carlos to Aston Villa. So yeah, you can target this fixture. Then again, in this one, you've got PSG, you've got the likes of Juventus. Obviously, Benfica is a good side, but against PSG, I wouldn't recommend going for the Limitless in this one. So this was the FDR. So it is all upon you if you want to choose the Limitless for match day 3 or match day 2. It all depends upon your side. Again, I'm going to tell you, if you have made the team for match day, if you actually started the season with only focusing on match day 1, you should activate the Limitless for match day 2, and actually don't go for, like, with the majority of people are going for match day 3, you save it and get bet points in this one, because this is a short fantasy. You just need better and better points every match day, or actually get a good boost into during the start of the season to achieve the rank that you actually want. So yeah, now let's move on to the attacking ratings of the teams. So I've updated these according to the way they played in this one. Let's see if there are comments. Yeah, there are 2 people watching. Thank you people for joining in. You can ask your questions. I'll try to answer them at the end of the stream. So yeah, We've got AC Milan, obviously a good fixture for AC Milan. They've got a better attack, and like I told you, Oliver Giroud is really a differential if you are actually targeting their players. Then we've got Barcelona. They do not have a good fixture, so if you want to punt on, like I myself, I've actually looked at Usman Dembele in the midfield. He's been involved. He's actually turned things around for himself and for the club. There was a time people were actually booing him in the stadium, and he got a standing ovation from people in the last Champions League game. He's actually playing really well. So yeah, if you think that Barcelona would score, which they would, I personally think that, and Usman Dembele might be involved. If there are a couple of goals and Usman Dembele is involved and you've got him, he can be a great differential. So yeah, it all depends upon your judgment in this one. Bayern Munich, obviously, Barcelona have new defenders, but this is a Champions League game. We know it's high pressures and all sort of stuff. Their defense is new, and if the likes of Sane and Mane, their attackers click in, Sane could be among points again. Then we've got Dortmund, but Dortmund is against Man City. I mean, if they do score, there would only be one goal. But if you actually bring a player from that team with using a limitless for only one goal, I mean, that would be a waste. Because alternatively you can get players that might score that have a probability of scoring one or more than one goal, like from PSG and the other teams. Then we've got Liverpool with 4 rating. I mean, Salah and Diaz, they are good goal scorers, but they're just under the bad influence of bad form right now. So yeah, you've got Man City. Obviously, there is Haaland, there's KDB, there's Foden. You can actually triple up on these players too, but I would actually recommend you go for one of their defender to with the likes of Cancelo and attacking wing back. So there's Napoli. Napoli obviously playing really well. There is Zelensky in that side. There is Simeone's son who actually scored a goal, and probably if Osimhen is out, he would actually start this game. There's obviously PSG and Real Madrid and Spurs if you want to really go for some more attackers. So next, if you go to the defense rating, so if you look at the defense rating here, AC Milan, they've got a 4. They might concede, but they are overall a balanced side. So the only team that you can actually bet on for not conceding a goal is Man City, but they sometimes do concede goals too. And Dortmund is an attacking side, and I personally think Man City probably would end up conceding one. So yeah, it's probably better to go for the wing backs that are from the attacking sides. PSG is rated 4 here because they are not as defensively as tough as Man City, but they've got a good fixture, and you can actually target that. You can bring in Hakimi, an attacking wing back, to he actually links up with the attackers well. So just target those 12 points instead of the 6 points from the clean sheet. So yeah, we've got a question here. Yeah, I will use the limitless. I will show you my team. I will actually select the team in front of you. So yeah, moving on to the expected points, there is obviously Kylian Mbappe, who rates the chart for forwards. There's Neymar, there's Haaland. So yeah, if you're using the limitless, this could be your forward line. And if you want to switch between things, you can take out probably Neymar for Messi. I wouldn't recommend taking out Mbappe because, with the pace he has, he's just an extraordinary player, but he lacks finishing a bit. But yeah, in the current form, I'd probably choose Mbappe over Messi because Messi, he's playing that deeper role. He isn't involved in a lot of goals for them. He might assist, but it's probably better to go for the goal scorer. Then there is Harry Kane, obviously. Harry Kane, the main man for Spurs. He did not score in the first game, but with time he is actually among the goals. Rafael Leo from Milan. There's Lewandowski. There's Vlahovic. There's Simeone, and there's Giroud. So yeah, Lewandowski could be a punt in this one, but obviously, like I said, this isn't an easy fixture. You might see a couple of goals from Barcelona, and the probability of him being involved in one is higher, but not both. So yeah, if you can actually go for players who might score 2 goals, it would be better for your side. So there are midfielders like De Bruyne, obviously a great player, Vinicius Junior. There's Zelensky, like I told you about, Anguissa, a differential, Foden a differential, Sane and Son. Telling you again that I've heard rumors about Son being benched, but I don't know if they're true or not. So yeah, if you're going for Son, probably look at some of the predicted lineups. So There's Hakimi in the defenders, Cancelo attacking wing backs, Perisic, Marquinhos probably for the clean sheet and the recoveries. There is Skriniar similar for that, Romero for the clean sheet, De Lorenzo who's an attacking wing back, Ramos, Alexander Arnold who is actually a really great attacking wing back, better than all of these. So yeah, he's just rated at his expected points are just 6.2, but if he goes big, he might return you points in double digits. The keepers, Donnarumma is the favorite to keep a clean sheet. Then there's Ederson, and the list follows. Onana might be a big differential here. Loris, Yassine Bono among the players that might return you a clean sheet. So yeah, these are the expected points. Now looking at the odds here, we've got Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe at 85% scoring probability. There's Neymar who's up at 75, Kane at 70, and the list then goes below to Dzeko who's at 32%. PSG has the highest chance of keeping a clean sheet. Man City a little less because Dortmund are an attacking side. I mean, they do concede goals, but they score too. Uh, there's then Atletico Madrid, and you might see all the others, Bayern and Barcelona at 30% only. Now the watch list is all those players that actually are among the points. So Lewandowski obviously is, if you don't have him and you are looking forward to, like, after this game week, you're looking forward to go for a player, a striker. Lewandowski obviously the main man. Mbappe, Haaland, Kane, Neymar, all of these players. Muller might be a great differential here. He's got a great record scoring against Barcelona. They are considered his favorite opponent. There's Usman Dembele in the midfielders, you can see a differential. Marco Reus, who might be among the scorers. Bernardo Silva, who might be among them too. Zelensky, like I'm talking about, he was exceptional in that game. He really, really fascinated me. And like I would choose my team after this, and I would go for Zelensky. There's Steven Bergwijn against Liverpool. Bergwijn wasn't like really eye pleasing to me in the previous fixture. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend him. But if you want to punt on Ajax, he's probably the guy. So Cancelo, obviously Perisic in the defenders, Alaba, Hakimi, Davis, Grimaldo. Grimaldo has a tough fixture, but he is always among the points due to the recoveries, similar to what we saw with Otamendi in the previous game week. The score to Ederson, Loris, and Pasveer. So these are the keepers if you want to target. Dumfries is a good option. Yeah, Inter has a probability of keeping a clean sheet, but I wouldn't recommend doubling up on that. So yeah, poly zombie depends upon your strategy. If you want variety, like personally, if I talk about myself, I really want variety in my side. So yeah, if it's upon me, I would choose. If you want to go safe, just double up on Neymar, Mbappe, and if you want to like punt on a different one, you might let Neymar go and bring in Kane. But yeah, to play it safe, I would recommend you go for Neymar and Mbappe. So yeah, we've got the team selection here. I'll just activate my limitless. First, just let me pick up the side here. We'll take out Lewandowski from the side. There's obviously Kylian Mbappe coming in. Yurgla goes out. There are the likes of, now there are players you might want to target for. There are a lot of forward options with good fixtures here. So Richarlison might be someone like, he's in the guaranteed starter, so I wouldn't recommend punting on him. Similar with Hazard, similar with Griezmann. So we can count these players out of it. Neymar could be a good option if you are looking to double up and play it safe. Then if you don't want Neymar, you might want to look at Thomas Muller, who has a good record against Barcelona for scoring goals. There's obviously Messi, Harry Kane. Lautaro Martinez is someone I'm considering for the triple up in the forwards. So yeah, this is the forward line I'm intending to go with. You've got the variety. You've got Haaland, you've got Mbappe to cover PSG's attack, and then you've got Lautaro Martinez to cover that Inter's attack. Wait, I forgot to show my team. Sorry, this is just my second time. Yeah, so yeah, this is my team. Sorry about that. Now you can see I've got Kylian Mbappe as the forward, Erling Haaland, Lautaro Martinez. I've let Farhan Jugatla go, and I've taken out, Lewandowski. Then in the midfield, there's Vinicius Junior would stay to cover that Real Madrid attack. And Nkunku was awful in the previous game, and I wouldn't recommend, keeping him for a limitless. And against Real Madrid, never. But yeah, Leroy Sané, a big differential here. You can go for Leroy Sané. Then there is obviously Zelensky if you're looking for that. But yeah, I'll just put Leroy Sané here because it is a limitless and there is no budget restriction we've got. So another differential is you can go for Kevin De Bruyne here. I'll take out Bruyne from the side. And Ousmane Dembele is someone I'm actually looking at. This is a big diversity in the side. We've got that Bayern versus Barcelona game covered. Ousmane Dembele has been involved in goals, and Sane was the main man for them in the previous game. You see, he was the player of the match. He got an assist. He scored a goal. So yeah, I'll just take him out and bring in, So this would be my midfield. This is what I am currently set on. You can see the attack, you can see the midfield, all the big assets I've got in here. If you don't want to punt on Ousmane Dembele, there are other options too. If you want, you got like someone like, if you don't want to go for Cancelo at the back, you can take him out and bring in Foden. There's also a big differential. Marco Reus, there's Joshua Kimmich, there's Luka Modric. Ferran Torres won't start. At least that is what I've heard from the rumors of the expected lineups. Rafinha is probably listed in the forward, so yeah, he's a forward option. There's obviously Freddy Valverde. They've got a good fixture against Leipzig, so you might actually want to go for Valverde, who was exceptional in La Liga last week. So there are some other options too, some not very popular ones. So if you want to punt on these players, you might go for them. But I currently favor. There's also Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah. As always, these are the options one might actually want to go for. Alvarez actually scored a goal. There were people actually talking about him, but I wouldn't recommend him as he's a defensive midfielder. You might get recoveries from him, but this goal scored is not gonna come in every game week, to be very honest. So yeah, I'll just put in Ousmane Dembele here for now. Now if you move on to the defense, we've got João Cancelo stays in, Wesley Fofana, Otamendi, Marquinhos. I'll just keep Marquinhos in, or I'll just take him out. Let's just look at some other options first. What other options do we have for now? We've got Grimaldo against Juventus. Juventus are a scoring side. They've got a better attack than Benfica, but Grimaldo is someone who goes forward. They do not have a good defense, and you might want to punt on him, on Grimaldo, if you are a risk taker. If you want to go in safe, you've got Perisic, you've got Carvajal. They might keep a clean sheet. Then you've got the likes of Alfonso Davies for those attacking returns. Jules Koundé has been among the attacking returns for a couple of fixtures. You shouldn't expect clean sheet from both of these players, but attacking returns might be something you can eye on. There's obviously Ashraf Hakimi in that side. All the other attacking wing backs, there's Di Lorenzo. Let me just search him. There's Giovanni Di Lorenzo here. I wouldn't double up on Spurs, so I'll just take him out. And let's just look at Chelsea have Salzburg. So we might, if we want to, Reece James isn't a bad option to go for. Sorry, too many E's in that. So yeah, Reece James isn't a bad option. You can get those attacking returns. So Thibaut Courtois stay. Let me just check for the date first. Thibaut Courtois plays on 15. We've got these guys play. We've got too many players playing on 15. So yeah, this might be something. Lautaro Martinez plays first. Sane plays second. We have to look at this. We wouldn't want any of the players getting wasted on the bench. So what players playing on 13? Too many players playing today. We have to look at that. First let me just take out this guy from my side and look at some of the goalkeeping options. You might suggest me if you know some options here. So yeah, we've got a suggestion. Perrin or choice, or take Neuer or Loris who plays the next day, then I can make a substitution. Yeah, Courtois is a better choice. If Courtois doesn't keep a clean sheet, he's always among the save points. He's always active at the back. If you look at his history from the last season, you might find it on the website somewhere. He was tremendous. Even when he conceded a goal, he actually got 2 or 3 extra points for saving the ball. He's just a really nice keeper to have. What I'm looking at to switch now. But I think this might do too. I mean, I can play Lautaro Martinez today and take out Kylian Mbappe, and either take out Leroy Sané and Reece James from my side. So yeah, it won't be a problem if I do not have my high scores. But yeah, currently this is what I'm set at, and this is how my team is going to look at in the Limitless. Obviously, I'll switch the armband today to either Leroy Sané or Ousmane Dembele. So this is what currently I'm looking at. This is how my Limitless is going to look like. You can send in your questions if you've got some. I would try my best to answer those. And I would like to thank you all again for joining in. This really means a lot. I'm just starting with these live streams, kind of nervous, but yeah, you guys joining in is always a big help. This is what currently my Limitless is going to look like, but there will obviously be a couple of changes. I'll let you know that on Twitter, and I will update on my YouTube handle here too. September 15th. Yeah, to September 15th are these fixtures. There might be some timing issues with me. I live here in Southeast Asia, so there might be some timing issues, but these are the fixtures dates as visible. So yeah, if Usman Dembele doesn't score well, he might come out for Zelensky. Similar is the case with Leroy Sané. If he doesn't go well, I'd put Reece James in on the first choice. Courtois will rest today, and Andre Onana will go in to play the fixture. You also asked about Dumfries, so let's just look at Dumfries, how he's been performing. If I like him, I might bring him in my side. Here's the guy. So yeah, there isn't his history available, but let me just check it online, how he's performing, to actually check. I'll let you know if he is still a better option. I remember him from the Euro. So yeah, in Syria he's played 6 matches and he's got 1 goal if you're looking for those attacking returns. But this fixture specifically, if he does well, he might actually bring you those attacking returns. But I would probably suggest you to go for better defensive options, like PSG and Man City are the ones in which you might see a lot of clean sheets. So yeah, this is how I'm currently intending to line up. Any more questions, any suggestions are always welcomed. And please do not forget to subscribe the channel. Please subscribe and hit that like button if you're enjoying here. Let's just play with the side to see if there are other options we can look at. You know, if you take out De Lorenzo from the 15th and we look at more defensive options selected by, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, um, you might bet on him to score some attacking returns. There's obviously Van Dijk, but Liverpool aren't defending well. There's obviously Alaba, usually among the attacking returns or recovery points. He's also the free kick taker sometimes. So yeah, you can go for that. Obviously, there's this guy from Milan who can be a good one. And similarly, if you are not set on Lautaro Martinez, I would say you can look at this pick. Big differential, only one selected by 1%, and he only played 57 minutes last week, but I personally think that he would start this one. Let's just check their starting lineups to give you guys some more insight into things. So yeah, I found a website, Sports Mole, that actually shows the predicted lineups, and I'll just make it visible for you guys. So yeah, you can see the predicted lineups here. You've got, so if you want to target that AC Milan fixture, this is how the things are going to be. You've got Olivier Giroud starting here. So yeah, if you want to go for a big differential, Olivier Giroud might be the guy. Obviously, Zagreb were a bit better against Chelsea attackingly, but they lacked that defensive ability like we've seen in big teams. Obviously, they do struggle defensively, and Chelsea were awful attackingly that day. So yeah, just don't go on that fixture. If you want to target this fixture, Oliver Giroud, Diaz, Liao, these are the players you want to like punt on. There's news that Dest might feature in this game too. Talking about Dest, I've seen him play and he's attackingly very good, but defensively he sucks. He's not very good defensively. So yeah, if you want those attacking returns, Dest might be there for those recoveries. Mignan is among the keepers that might give you a clean sheet. Fixtures, he's someone who might give you those attacking returns. You can see there are ball recoveries under his telly, and he actually plays ahead, he goes forwards, and he might give you those attacking returns if you want to punt on that. And Atletico Madrid, there are defensive side, and in all this run they might actually give you uh, clean sheet in a couple of fixtures, at least in these last one where teams are rotated and stuff. And then there's obviously not for this one. There's Jules Koundé. I wouldn't recommend him for this one, but for ahead you might look at Jules Koundé. But specifically in this one, I would say you might go for Grimaldo. I mean, against Juventus, you might bet on him. He's not the safest option, but he's got those he's got that attacking capability, and he might actually return you some points in via those attacking returns. You know, PSG themselves are a bit shaky side against sides that attack in League One. So yeah, if you are looking for some of those safest options, obviously there's Sergio Ramos. The most safest options you might go for. There's specifically for this fixture, you might not want to opt for Bayern or Barca defenders, but Bayern might keep a couple of clean sheet in this fixture, and there's Upamecano. You might look at Christian Romero is someone at 5 million who might return you many clean sheets in this fixture, and they've got good fixtures. Obviously, there's Marc Cucurella, but we don't know how Potter actually sets the team to line up. So there's Fofana, who might be a good option at 5 million. Clement Longley at 4.5, but yeah, he's a rotational risk. So yeah, and then there is Nathan Ake, who's a rotational risk, but he might, feature in a couple of games. So yeah, for the safest option, I would recommend you go for either Sergio Ramos, or you might go for someone from the Chelsea side. And if you are like okay with a couple of clean sheets and some attacking returns, and some and not consistent points, Giovanni Di Lorenzo is someone a big differential for your side. Yeah, Sergio Gomez, I've heard about the rumors, but let's just see how Man City would line up. They haven't updated the. Let's just look at Sports Mall. What do they bring us? So yeah, this is how they might start. Ederson, Cancelo, Diaz. There's also Akanji in there. There's Gomez in there. So these are the two players. If Pep is like Pep is someone who might be a guy who to give us happiness and start these picks. We are punting on Akanji and Gomez aren't bad options. They're cheap options to go for at the back. But Cancelo is the most nailed one, and if you got budget, I would say Cancelo, definitely Cancelo at the back. But yeah, you've got your answer for Sergio Gomez. He's in the predicted lineup of Sports Mall, but obviously it all depends upon Pep and his last end decisions. Just look at some other websites if they've got some. Yeah, the article doesn't it. So Sports Mall is the only website we've got. Some sort of authentic website. This one for the fixtures. So yeah. So yeah, if this defense plays actually Diaz and Akanji are partnering up for the first time at the back, I wouldn't be so sure about the clean sheet. They've been conceding goals recently, although they are the most, uh, you know, most toughest side to play against. Every team that plays against them actually claims this. So yeah, but Diaz and Akanji new partnership. We don't know how they would go, but yeah, if you want to punt on Akanji, but Akanji might play, or similarly with Gomez, he might play one game, he might be rested for the other one. So yeah, if you're going on a wild card, it would be a pick. It would be a transfer wasted. So probably go for someone who's nailed. Back. So there's obviously, if you want to go for differentials, there's Korea, there's Jacko. They might score a goal. Pleasant wasn't a very defensively solid side we saw in the first fixture versus Barcelona. There's obviously Guzens, who's obviously a player who goes forward. A lot of forward moves from him. There's Dumfries, that a guy asked previously. You can punt on him. He would be running up ahead here. Similarly with Guzens, I don't know if they play that inverted role or the wider one, but against a defensively weaker side, everything goes. So yeah, these are the defenders. Skriniar, obviously he's the guy who might get you those recoveries. Onana, like I've selected in the side, you can play Onana for the fixture. This isn't a side I wouldn't really recommend to go for. Return back here, just Trincao starting for them. Trenka, obviously, in the other fixtures when they're not playing Spurs, he might be a good one. There's obviously gone Kelvis, who's a good, who's a good player. If you want to like avoid this specific Spurs fixture, but go for the other one. So if you are like wildcarding in match day 3, you can keep an eye on this guy. Spurs, Richarlison is obviously Emerson, a much cheaper option, probably under 5 million if you want to go for him, Eric Dyer, Davis, Perisic. But I would recommend going for a wing back who's actually among the attacking returns. If a centre back loses a clean sheet, it's all done. You'll just pray for the recovery points. But if the wing back, he is obviously going ahead, obviously threatening with the crosses, and a striker like Harry Kane in the middle, and the crosses, with the crosses, he's obviously always a guy with threat, posing some threat. So yeah, any more questions? Let me just open my team here for you. Telling you guys again, I'm going to activate my limitless in this fixture. This is how my side is going to look like, and I've gotten with two or three differentials would probably be in my side, and I'll just update it around 9:30 on my Twitter handle, and I'll post it here on YouTube too. So yeah, I'll just wait 2 minutes for any questions. If you guys, I would like to thank you from all my heart for joining in. This actually means a lot to me. If you are new here, please do subscribe. I'll be doing these streams every before every match day in the Champions League. Every time I get a chance, you know. Thank you, man. Thank you, Sarthak, for joining in. Thank you, Zombie, and thank you, everyone. There was Marvin Funes, Polish Zombie. Shout out to these guys. You know, there was Intensei. Shout out to him. Thank you all for joining in. So this is it from my side. I will be back in the next game, in the next match day. Uh, do You can also just DM me on Twitter for any queries you have regarding the UCL Fantasy. I'll try my best to help you guys. So thank you all for watching.